Okay, good morning. Haven't done one for a few days. But I thought I'd do a quick one on just morning routine, kind of updates on the coop. It's quite early and it's really cold out, but if you can tell, the ducks look like their feathers are coming in, so they don't have the little fuzz or anything. And everyone's doing fine. They're getting huge. I did cut a bucket down to 4.5 inches so that they have a little bit more water, because the 2 containers I had, just this little Tupperware, and this bucket wasn't enough water for them to be in here for, half the day. Around the chicken coop, or duck coop, close that. Just last night I dug it up and I dumped huge logs, at the base of the coop, just to prevent any raccoons or anything from coming in. So that's kind of the updates with them. I'll try to get them outside each day on grass, and it's been going pretty good. Trying to fight mosquitoes over here. It's pretty cold today, so I should probably finish up putting some wiring down at the bottom of this thing. Duck. But they're doing pretty good. They wanted to stay out like past 7 o'clock last night, and I needed to put them inside their coop. So they eventually get it. It's a little hard for them to understand where the coop is, so I have to kind of lead them up and down, and yeah, they're pretty big. They went swimming for the first time in the pool. They were able to get in there okay and get out, so that was good. So they finally figured that out. But this is just a morning update of trying to predator-proof the house. And of course the top is all wire welded fence, just a tarp on top. I'll probably have to raise the tarp, so that the water just repels off. So that's the update for this morning. Okay, so the ducks have been out back on the grass for about an hour. I'm hoping they will find the pool eventually. Basically all they're doing is pooping everywhere and eating grass and whatever else. And they really like yellow flowers. So they're doing pretty good. It took them a little bit to get up here to get comfortable, but now they're doing just fine. And yeah, so hopefully they drink that water over there. I made them a little ramp to get to the pool, but they haven't even dunked their head in there or anything. They can get their heads in. So maybe they'll get thirsty enough and we'll do that. Just some things I've noticed is that they do go after that yellow flowers, dandelions. They'll kind of eat and then sit down for a while, which is kind of funny. I kind of see their path. It's kind of matted down the grass. And I guess when they eat the grass, they kind of rip at it instead of like a lawnmower cuts. So it actually makes your grass grow a little better. So that'll be nice, and maybe there'll not be any weeds or anything. And then one other thing is they started like duck calling, I guess. Like it sounds like a duck. Which is kind of funny, so hopefully they are not too loud compared to the chickens. Duck. But I think they're getting, more used to going around the yard, which is good. And it's nice to get them out of their pen for, a day or so that they can get a lot of grass and good stuff. We haven't really seen any hawks or any other birds or anything, so that was good. And it's supposed to be 70 today and partly cloudy, so that's probably perfect weather for them. They could probably use a little sunshine though. Yeah, so that's today. I'll put out another video maybe tomorrow. Okay, so here's the video for the winter. Right now, they probably want some more worms, but all this was from the previous spot that I moved the chickens. Throwing them some worms. So these were where the chickens were, and they sat up here, and there's wood chips in here. But now the dirt is super, dark and everything, so it looks pretty good. So I'm piling this up to put in some garden beds. And I'm going to do the same thing with their bed, because I don't really have a whole lot of success with vegetables and whatnot. So I think with these, all this compost and stuff on those, that'll make it a lot better this year. And the ducks like the worms a lot. But basically for their pen, I am doing deep mulch. So there's about a foot of wood mulch in here. Every week I'll come in and alternate, maybe twice a week. And so basically everything's composting underneath here, and it keeps the stink down, and it just works pretty good. And then by the end of the winter, I'll probably have some really good compost to use in the garden beds. So as our black tray is working good, just fill it up every morning. I'll put sprouts in there. There's been a little mouse that's been jumping around in here, and I need to block off where they're coming in. And yeah, they have their food that they usually eat all day. Two quart-sized cups. But they make quite a mess in here if they're left in here all day. And they definitely forage a lot more when they're out, and they'll go through this whole backyard and eat up. So see if I can get them some more worms, and probably do a couple more updates in the winter, but it's hard to get it dry, not raining. So that's it for now. Okay, I thought I'd do a video because I haven't done one in a long time. I only have 5 ducks left because I sold half of them because 10 ducks is just a little too much every morning. In their coop, I just turned over all their compost and everything, and so they're in there looking for food and stuff. They really like the worms and whatnot. Their water, I've been putting all the sunflower seeds, and I've been sprouting barley, and they really like that. They'll eat all that up in the morning. And yeah, other than that, you'll have some nice compost wood chips. That's the pile right there, so that'll be good for the garden next year. And yeah, everything's been going good. They get let out around 10 or so, 10 to noon, just so that no raccoons or anything will be out and about for them. And the chickens are still doing good. They really like the barley seeds. I'll do about a quart of seeds every night, and the chickens will get some, and they've barely touched their food. And the ducks will get the rest, and I'll just put all of it in their water, and then they chomp it down real good. So I definitely recommend doing fodder. I had to bring it inside because it's just too cold out at night. It doesn't sprout very well, and you can see that one digging for sprouts in his water dish. They'll just eat it up. And they barely touch their food anymore, so that's good. But we just had a windstorm, and the shelter held up well. It was like 30 or 40 mile an hour gusts. And so yeah, that's the ducks. Everyone's doing good. I'll do a video on the greenhouse. Okay, so I thought I'd do a video again of kind of the updates on the ducks. It's been kind of a while since I've done one. Still have 10 ducks. Everyone's doing pretty good. The strawberries they've been going through for a few weeks now, and you can see they kind of stomp them down and trample them, which is fine. And they also like to stick their heads in the mulch and I think they kind of aerate it. So they'll do, like that guy's doing right there. They'll stick his head in the mulch deep down, and I don't know what they're doing, filter feeding or something. The grass after a few weeks is definitely shorter, so they're eating it. As soon as I start seeing erosion or anything like that, I'll take them off for a few weeks so that it can kind of heal itself. All the ducks have feathers now. You can see they're still a little skittish, which is fine. Yeah, so they all have feathers now. It hasn't really rained here, so it'll be interesting to see what they do in the rain. Maybe it looks like a little bit underneath their wings. There's still little down-looking feathers in there. We've seen a few raccoons during the day, like at 9, 10 o'clock, so when I'm not outside, we'll kind of let them out around noon or so, just in the backyard, so that's been fine. So yeah, I wonder what they're eating in that under the mulch, if they're just going for bugs or if there's roots or something in there. They're kind of louder than chickens, definitely, when they get excited. But once they get busy and they're just eating and stuff, they're quiet. But when I take them out in the morning at or when I'm when I'm feeding them at 5:30 in the morning, they make a lot of noise, just like that, which isn't too bad. I wonder if it'll get any louder. I definitely enjoy them more than chickens, because if I was to let the chickens out right now and they were up here, all this grass would be torn up and gone. We fixed their kiddie pool over to the side. Just used some caulking and cut a piece of plastic, like a circle, and put it where the puncture was on the pool, so that's been holding up. I did double check with the place I ordered these ducks from, just to make sure that they can't fly, so I don't have to clip any wings. So these are the 300 hybrid layer ducks, and they cannot fly. So awesome. So every week, I got a bunch of wood chips, and I'll take a wheelbarrow. I'll probably do 2 a week now. But when they're stuck in their pen, it kind of just makes a layer of poop and stuff. So I don't know if you can see that. So just once a week, it's just being cleaned out. Fresh wood chips are going in there. I'll take these old wood chips and put them in this composter thing. I don't know how warm it is, but so I'll fill this up to the top, and maybe in a while it will completely compost, because it's probably really good stuff in there. And they seem to be eating a lot of food. I'll probably feed them a few times a day, and it doesn't seem like they waste too much, but I'll fill up these 2 buckets with water in the morning and at night, and then sometimes during the day they'll be let out for a few hours, and they have the pool access. But I think we can go through a 50-pound bag of feed right now, but in about a week and a half or so. I'll have to test that, but I think it's been over a week now, and I still am on the same bag. So they definitely go through a lot of crumble feed. And yeah, so that's the update this weekend. I'm just going to shovel some more wood chips in there. I should probably move the chickens. But you guys are not as smart as ducks. And I guess, yeah, when the ducks have kind of ate all they can up there. They'll just be restricted down to the back, and that's just all wood chips. There's not a lot of grass or anything, but they can mess around down here all winter long and not really harm anything. Since it's pretty shaded, it doesn't get a whole lot of rain unless it's really downpouring. So there's shelter down here. I'm sure we'll get a few windstorms in the winter, and it'll be cold, so I'll have to put up some side sheeting for those days, just so they can get out of the wind. I think a crow just flew over. But yeah, they haven't really touched the apple trees, which is nice. Right there, they're kind of just browsing in there. They'll do that every day. I'm sure they're eating all the bugs, and so they're just trampling the strawberry plants and kind of aerating the soil. So that's definitely a plus. And they'll nibble on them and stuff. So I guess next year we'll see how much those strawberries improve year over year. We'll do some more videos later in the week. Okay, it's been a week or so before I've done a video, but here are the ducks. Had to adjust their roof because everything was puddling up, and it's probably rained about an inch or so in a day. So this is feeding first time. Gosh, these guys are huge. They have all their feathers. Yesterday they were out all day when it was raining, and they just love, dinking around out there. So they're doing good. There's their muddy pool. And I've been keeping them down here in the back, just to kind of give the grass a rest, so they have plenty of space to kind of just mess around. And maybe I'll show ya. But one thing that they like is food going in their pool. So let me get some dandelions. And then you can see what they do. Go absolutely crazy for it. But I guess they eat dandelions pretty good without it. But in the water, they just love it. Because I've heard if you put food in their water, that they'll be more inclined to eat it, if it's something that they don't normally eat. So, and another thing I like about ducks is that those three things, the 2 buckets and the container, those block them from going up the ramp. With a chicken, you would never be able to get away with that. So, that's all the updates for the ducks today. They're ready for the winter. And we had a hawk a few days ago that landed on top of their coop. And I don't know how much damage they could do. It's probably smaller than the ducks. No raccoons. No one's digging under the coop or anything. So everything's good. I'll talk to you later.